From Omro down to Mayville, from Rosendale to the Ledge, and everywhere in between, it's time to get you caught up on everything happening in the Flyway Conference. This is the Flyway Focus Sport Report, your home for the best whip-around coverage of your favorite local teams. Now, with all the latest, here's Jordan King.
Good Thursday morning to you. Let's catch you up quickly on a slower day yesterday. Slow, but not devoid of Flyway playoff action. Starting in boys golf at the Delavan-Darien Regional at Majestic Oaks Golf Course. That's where Lomira and Mayville competed, and both will be heading to sectionals after solid performances. Lomira, runner-up to Bigfoot with a 345, and Mayville was just 4 strokes back of that in fourth with a 349. Individually, Ray Baldus kept his terrific season going. He finished runner-up individually. Lomira's Preston Jung and Alex Lidke each placed inside the top 10 as well. Sectionals for the Lions and Cardinals is at House on the Rock next week. North Fondy softball finally got its game played against Wautoma, and the Orioles won easily. A 5-inning win against the Hornets in the 4-5 matchup. It was a balanced attack for North Fondy. All but one Oriole batter got a hit in the game. Allison now scored 3 times, while Lexi Sobel had 2 RBIs and 2 runs. North Fondy moves on to play Mayville. More on that in a moment. The third event yesterday was North Fondy baseball. They lost 19-0 in 5 innings to Xavier. Coming up today, the big one is track and field as athletes around the conference try to race their way to state in various sectionals. Campbellsport, WIAA, Laconia, Omro, and North Fondy are all at Appleton North High School, where Freedom hosts their sectional. On paper, it figures to be the most challenging sectional out there in Division II this year. Some names to watch are obviously Josh Awanali from Campbellsport, but also Sienna Hewitt for the Cougars, who is a terrific pole vaulter. Her best height this year is second in the state in Division II. WLA's 4x200 team has a shot, as well as Caden Schmitz and Molly Duell from Laconia. That's just to name a few. There's dozens of Flyway athletes with a shot to punch their ticket to state tonight up at Appleton North. Mayville and Lomira are both at Portage High School for sectionals. Just a few competitors between the two schools that will try to finish inside the top 4 at the event. Finally, Springs competes in Division III at Horicon High School. Grace Kuhn has a legitimate shot to earn a trip to state in 4 different events. At regionals, she won 3 running events and was runner-up in the high jump. We plan to be on hand for coverage of all the Ledger athletes in action down at Horicon. This afternoon marks the start of playoffs for the rest of baseball. WLA is a 5 seed and hosts Marquezan coming up today. Andy Simon expected to get the start on the bump for the Vikings. 9th seeded Omro goes to Wautoma, who's the 8th seed. The Foxes swept the Hornets in a doubleheader to kick off the season back on April 6th. Both WLA and Omro's games are set for 5 p.m. first pitches. Springs is the number 10 seed in the region, and they are at Oshkosh North High School to play against 7th-seeded Lourdes Academy. That game has been moved back. They'll play under the lights starting up at 7:30. In the bottom half of that sectional, Mayville is the 8th seed. They host Shoreland Lutheran. The Cardinals have won 4 of their last 5 games to close out the regular season. Little momentum for Mayville headed to the postseason. Softball is on to regional championship games today. Still 5 Flyway teams alive, but 4 of the 5 are in games against each other, as is commonly the case in WIAA postseason. They require the conference to knock itself out as opposed to facing different competition. So that means Lomira and Laconia will play the rubber match of their season series. Lomira won each of the first 2 games against the Spartans. Last time they got together, Taylor Bloom had a monster day. She was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Mayville and North Fondy will play for a regional crown. These 2 teams split in the regular season. Mayville won at home 7-5, and North Fondy won its home game 5-4. Mayville is the top seed, so the Cards will host today. And finally, it'll be a tough battle for Springs this afternoon. They'll make the nearly 2-hour drive up to Algoma High School to play the Wolves. Algoma is 22-3 and was ranked 10th in the final Division IV poll. The only sport that hasn't hit the postseason at this point is girls soccer, and there are 5 matches today. The only conference game remaining today is between Mayville and Hustisford-Dodgeland. The Cards need a win to finish second. Hustisford would vault itself up to a 5th place finish with a win. 4 non-conference matches. Lomira hosts New Holstein. Omro is home against Howard's Grove. Campbellsport is at Berlin, and Springs is on the road at Waupun. Final event on the schedule today is a non-conference regular season baseball game between Lomira and Slinger. Both the Lions and the Owls had byes, so they didn't have to play in postseason action today. So one last chance to sharpen it up before the big ones get here coming up next week. That's it for this Thursday for the Flyway Focus Sports Report. I'm Jordan King.